show respect, step back, no need for space invasion. Stop saying your room number at the day's end, let the girl dance. That's really all she came for. $1 million dress probably came from the thrift store. Even though she seems to be exactly what you wish for, she's never coming in on your transistor. Don't matter if you're rich or piss poor, she's out of your league and in a different sport. The answer is no, you ain't got a chance. She's out of your league, just let the girl dance. No creeping allowed though, you just get a glance. Don't try to strip game, yo, just let the girl dance. The answer is no, you ain't got a chance. She's out of your league, just let the girl dance. You can watch her soul glow from a distance, but give her some space on, let the girl dance.
Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm Randy Silvis.
And I'm Tony Mollick.
And welcome to Twin Lakes Park in a cold, miserable, dreary Greensburg, Pennsylvania.
Today's weather is the worst we've ever raced in, and the 724 faithful are dug in with heaters under the track tables and plastic sheeting over the windward side of the pavilion. The cold, wet weather hasn't been enough to dampen the spirits of the racers, and it's our honor to present to you the 2021 WPSRA Halloween Shootout.
These 38 cars and their racers are prepared to race for your entertainment. Today we'll be covering the first 10 races of round 1.
The 10 races we'll be covering today will be the Madverick versus the Lambo, Slick Trick versus Purple Blur, Magic 8-Ball versus Slick Willie, Kelly's Corvair versus Venom, the Blatzmobile versus Meanstreak, the Roadhog versus Beelzebug, the Judge versus Pineapple Express, the Wrecker versus the Purple People Eater, Undercover versus the Bumblebee, and Baby Blue versus Damien.
And next time on SLOTRODS, we'll be covering the second half of the first round. Hemi Thunder versus Zombie, Valentine versus SKYLINE, the 52 versus Pandora, Blue Dream 2 versus the Undead, Hood Rat versus the Panther Pink Charger, One Man's Poison versus the Triton, the Boss Nova versus Going Green, Tangerine Nightmare versus the Batmobile, and the Panther Pink Dart versus the 724 Fuzz. The Fuzz? I didn't know we had our own police force.
Apparently we're the only slot car group with adequate police protection.
And they will all be racing for the coveted Crystal Skull Trophy today.
And that trophy is held for the entire year, and only the possessor of the Crystal Skull has an opportunity to unite all 3 of the 724 trophies.
Right now, Tony has the number 1 trophy for the 724 Top 10 list. Kelly has the King of the Tournament trophy, and if either of them would win out, they would have a legitimate chance to be the first by winning the 1 trophy they would be short.
So everyone, let's get this party started with the first of these 10 races. First up is the Ford Maverick. It was built by off and on again member of the 724, Ed Armstrong. It has a nice short wheelbase, and it's a good platform for building a fast car. Versus Randy and his red Lamborghini he calls the Lambo.
This car was originally an RC car. I converted it into a slot car. It's nice and light, and all I had to do was put brushes, tires, and a tongue on it.
You can already see the cold affecting the tires on that Lambo.
Yeah, buddy, I fishtailed the whole way down the track, but I fishtailed into a win.
And that makes it the Lambo moving on to round 2.
Race number 2 will be Drew Hall in the Purple Blur.
We don't know much about the Purple Blur other than the body is a modified Chevy Camaro SS Pro Mod style, and Drew's been wrestling with it for about a year now.
Versus Lewis Wingate, driving for the Mullick Racing Team in the 1951 Chevrolet called Slick Trick. Slick Trick's a turquoise Rat Fink inspired lead sled, and it's been number 1 around here for a hot minute a couple times.
Drew got off the line first by a split second.
Yeah, but by the time they got to camera number 2, Slick Trick was already coming around him.
And that makes Slick Trick the winner, moving on to round 2.
Good race, Lewis. Nice win.
Yeah, he drove the shit out of it. Next up is race 3, the 1932 Ford Highboy called Slick Willie.
Slick Willie's owned and operated by Michael Mack, and it's based off the old Shelby chassis. Tony, how much of that original chassis is still under that body?
Every bit of it. All I did was fit another body on it because we couldn't find another Shelby body. Versus Drew Hall and his Magic 8-Ball. Magic 8-Ball is one of the 724 OG cars that's been around since 2019. And he's had a lot of luck with it over the past couple of years, and you can usually find it in the top 5. Well, there's something that you never see. The 8-Ball never runs that slow.
I've never seen an 8-Ball go that.
Which makes Slick Willie the winner by a mile, and moving on to round 2. Which brings us to race 4. This race will be Tim Clark and his Torino called Venom. He's been running this car since he first got into the league, and it just gets faster and faster with every pass.
Versus Michael Mack, driving for Calkins Racing Team in Kelly's Corvair. Kelly's Corvair is a 1968 Corvair Monza and is on small tires.
Randy, I thought you showed great maturity in not saying driving for his mom.
Ready. Yep.
Nice start. That Corvair never spun a bit. You can see it stepping away from Tim right around the 200-foot mark.
Nice race, Mac. On to round 2 for you. Race 5 will be the 1965 Mercury Comet called MEANSTREAK. She's metallic green, and I particularly like the idea of painting the bumpers, effectively deleting them.
I just like the supercharger sticking out of the hood and the white walls up front. And what can we say about that 67 vet we haven't already said?
Blast! Ready.
Race 6 will be the 1973 Super Beetle Beelzebug, owned by Kelly Calkins.
Beelzebug is the current King of the Tournament trophy holder and will be raced by Michael Mack for the Calkins Racing Team.
Versus rookie driver Jimmy Niederheiser, driving for the Mullick Racing Team in the 1967 Chevy Impala called the Road Hog.
That's a virgin build, first time down the track. I have no idea what to expect.
Ready. Camera 2 ready.
3 and 4 ready. Okay, here we go.
What happened?
Brand new brushes, just weren't lined properly. Sorry, Jim. We'll get you hooked up better next time.
Race number 7 will be the 1972 Pontiac GTO called the Judge. Hey, that looks familiar.
It should. I landed the Big Chief for the race against the 405 in Season 1. His crow wasn't quite ready for the race yet.
Versus Louis Wingate in his 1966 Dodge A1 called the Pineapple Express. The Express currently holds the number 2 slot in the 724 Top 10.
Well, there's something you don't normally see. Somebody gapping the Pineapple Express?
It could be the 48-degree rainy weather, or it could be the fact that he had his tires warming up in front of the turbo heater right before the race.
Good point. You never know how that's going to work out. Sometimes for the good, sometimes for the ill. But either way, the GTO moves on.
Moving on to race number 8, we have the Ford Pantera called the One-Eyed, One-Horn, Flying Purple People Eater,
Or P.P.E. for short.
This four-wheeled Muppet is the creation of Tim Clark. But don't let the looks fool you. This car has made some seriously fast passes.
Versus Drew Hall and his brand new build. A tow truck called the Wrecker.
Why would anybody race a tow truck?
Says in my notes here he's making some side money towing people back from the finish line when they wreck.
Unbelievable! Only on slot rods can you see a wrecker beat a Pantera in a drag race.
The Wrecker moving on to the next round.
On to race number 9. Michael Mack driving for the Mullock Racing Team in the 1970 Dodge Super Bee, aptly called the Bumblebee.
This is one of my favorite builds. I call the color Pearl Mustard Metallic.
Race number 9, the 1949 Ford Sleeper called Undercover.
I call her Undercover because nobody ever sees her coming. They only see her going.
And there she goes. Looks like Mike got caught napping, and he may be being traded from the Mullock Racing Team.
Nah, it happens to the best of us. Besides, Drew was driving for me too.
Last but not least, our last race of the day. Tim Clark in the Ford Pinto called Damien.
I love Damien because of his black paint and silver studs. Makes it look like a heavy metal slot rod.
Versus the 1957 Bel Air called Baby Blue.
That's a brand new build and a green driver.
She ain't that green. She just stole the hit from Tim Clark.
That Bel Air was rolling. There was no catching her. Baby Blue will be moving on to round 2.
And this concludes our racing for the day. Next time, we'll be covering races 11 through 19, thinning the herd from 38 cars to 19.
But before we go, let's have a quick look at today's winners.
So, until next time, I'm Randy Silvas.
And I'm Tony Mollick, and thanks for watching Slot Rods.
Let the girl dance, don't interrupt. Nothing less than Patron in her cup. Gawkers all around, stalkers in the background. A portrait of some sad clowns that lost love. It's simpler than Simon, cause she ain't trying to find a bush. She don't need no kind of drugs, she's shining like a diamond does. With some friends after work to blow some steam off. Using fake names the whole time to throw your team off. The answer is no, you ain't got a chance. She's out of your league, just let the girl dance. No creeping allowed though, you just get a glance. Don't try to game, yo, just let the girl dance. The answer is no, you ain't got a chance. She's out of your league, just let the girl dance. You can watch her soul glow from a distance, but give us some space, son, let the girl dance. Every move she make is a mystery that can instantly change the course of history. Or is it just me? She dances sexy without getting naked. It's working, looks good when she wakes up.